tell everyone where you were when I first met you, like share like your corporate gig, basically.
So I did work for a financial company for about 15 years. My role was a content writer. I created and updated standard operation procedures, so SOPs for different departments in the company. I got started in freelancing because around 2018, my company started to do layoffs and I was so afraid. I was like, what am I going to do? And at the time I was working remotely, but we were told that eventually we'll have to commute back to work. And I lived kind of far. So that's what started my journey. I was like, I would like to still work from home. So what can I do? So I started like Googling and researching. And yeah, that's kind of where I got to where I am now.
Yeah. And you started to do something new too. So you actually lean into more techie and email marketing services. Am I right?
So what I did is that I did take a VA course. And with that course came, after you finish the course, they had an agency that you could work for. And so that's what I did. So for that VA agency, I had about 3 or 4 clients. I was doing website updates, creating opt-in lead pages, and an email marketing, like sending a broadcast email once a week for a client. But that only lasted like 6 months. That agency had closed and I was able to take at least one of those clients with me, the email marketing client, and I kept her on for a little while.
How did you like this work compared to what you did in corporate?
You know, like you said, I'm a techie person. And so the job I was doing, I just wasn't passionate about it anymore. Became really passionate about doing techie things. And I wanted to learn more about that. What else can I do? I love the back end of the business and working on the websites and things like that.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I think that's like the hardest spot when you're trying to transition out of one thing. And there's definitely this hustle period where you're having to sacrifice and put in extra hours. And I want to know, how did you get out of that?
It was definitely a process. It took some time. I was afraid because I worked for this job for 15 years. I had, health benefits, all the, the benefits and things like that. So I had to figure out as a business owner, how would I pay for my health insurance? How would I get that? Am I okay financially? So I just spent a lot of time researching, Googling, and dealing with the what ifs, my mindset, dealing with, what if I don't find clients, or what if I don't make the income that I want to make in my business? And so I had to kind of get over those hurdles. And I did. And what I would say is you want to set a date. That can really help me say, okay, let's get all my ducks in a row. And on this date, I'll do it. And that was on June 10th of this year. I felt so free. I felt relieved, happy, and just excited that I'm starting this new chapter of my life.
How did you go from one client to multiple? Or like, how did you bridge that difficult gap of being able to actually see a future in this new business?
So that's where you come in, Emily. I needed to figure out how to market for myself. How can I market and still be authentic? And so what I did was I just did all the things. I just tried to post everywhere, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, but I didn't have a strategy. So I was just posting everywhere, So I didn't really feel, I wasn't getting results. So I was thinking, well, what else can I do? And one day your video on YouTube about the work group came up in my feed. That's what it was. And so when I watched your video, it spoke to me. I was like, you're speaking to me. I have the experience and I need a network. I should have a network. And you had advanced trainings. So I was like, this is what I need to do. This would be perfect. And so I signed up. And within 3 weeks, because there's so many jobs posted, wonderful jobs posted, I got a client in less than 3 weeks.
I felt like in this online space when I first started, it's so hard when you're brand new and you're starting from scratch. No one knows who you are, and your website is not going to instantly generate leads. Your social media isn't going to do it. And I think you told me you had another coach tell you to post on social to get clients.
Yeah, it just, again, wasn't a clear strategy. It didn't feel right to me. I mean, I understand that you do need to post, you need to be visible. I get that, but it wasn't for someone like me. You got to do it differently. You have to do what works for you.
So you were one of my go-getters who, from the work group, signed up for my Unicorn Digital Marketing Assistant School. And I would love for you to
Uh-huh.
tell everyone why, because you had the skills, you had the clients. Like, what was it that you were hoping to get out of it? Like, what pushed you to do that?
Well, the reason I did do it is because even though I had the skills, I wanted more skills. The idea of doing digital marketing services, there's more to it than just email marketing. So I could do that and I could do other things. Also, I was actually kind of struggling with that I had to find my niche because that was the word of the town. It's like everyone was talking about, you got to find your niche, you got to find your niche. And I don't think I just wasn't ready to niche down. And you were talking about, you could be a unicorn. And I'm like, I would love that. I would love to have the experience and grow and do more things other than email marketing. It could be a part of a whole service, like funnel building, right? I could do all the things, the automation setups behind it, sales pages. So I was looking at more of going that direction.
What did you learn the most? Because like I said, you came with a good email marketing head.
I learned about the strategy behind it, and I learned about how to read reports and the metrics and how you can improve on those numbers and how to track them. That's what I didn't have before.
What does your marketing and your network look like now?
It's wonderful. I'm actually beginning my network. I've grown my network on LinkedIn too. But with the work group, I just love that everyone has a different background, experience. We're very positive in the group. We cheer each other on. And I just love that the support that I get with the group.
Okay, so I have a tech stack question. What's your favorite email service provider?
Active Campaign.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who's just starting their freelance business? Like, is there anything you would go back and do differently?
You really got to get started and don't ignore any fears that you have. Work with your mindset. That's huge. You really have to have your mindset right. Grow your network. I wish I did that sooner. So start growing your network and keep things simple. I think I was just trying to do all the things and I was getting overwhelmed. So you want to try to just be kind to yourself and just keep things simple and always keep learning.
Do you have any advice for somebody who was in your position where they're corporate and they want to get out? Like, what kind of advice for that woman in particular?
Well, to keep in mind that when you become a freelancer, you get to choose when and where you want to work. So you have more of that flexibility and to do what you love, to do something that you're passionate about. And the skills that you obtain through corporate, you can take those skills are most likely transferable as a freelancer. So you can probably make money right away. And basically you control your own destiny.
I think it's daunting to think about starting something new, but if you do it like Marci did with a plan, doing her research, like getting in the right networks, like learning the right skills, like it's totally possible.
I know the UDMA school is coming back October and
Yes.
This is a great opportunity. Jump in. You will not regret it. It's going to really get you going where you want to go.
It does open again in October. There's some early bird enrollment bonuses for anyone on the wait list. So jump on the wait list.